My name is Laura Mitchell. I am 33 years old, and I have been a plumber and handywoman for 12 years. I work with my hands. I fix things that are broken. I install pipes, repair leaks, rebuild bathrooms, renovate kitchens. I am good at my job. I am strong. I am capable. I am the person people call when something in their house stops working and they need it fixed right now. I spent most of my life trying to fix my family. I finally realized some things cannot be fixed. Some things just need to be torn down and rebuilt from scratch. I have one daughter. Her name is Georgina, and she is 15 years old. Everyone calls her Georgie. She has blonde hair that she dyes pink at the ends, green eyes that see through every lie, and a sharp sense of humor that she uses as armor. She is tough. She has had to be. But underneath all that toughness, she is still just a kid who wants to be wanted. I got pregnant with Georgie when I was 18. Her father was my boyfriend at the time. We had been together for 1 year. When I told him I was pregnant, he said he needed to think about it. 2 days later, he broke up with me over text. I never heard from him again. My parents were furious. My father said I had ruined my life. My mother said I was throwing away my future. But they also said I could stay with them. They said family takes care of family. They said they would help me get back on my feet. So I moved back into my childhood bedroom. I had Georgie. I worked during the day. I went to trade school at night. I learned plumbing, electrical work, carpentry. I learned how to fix things. I learned how to make money with my hands instead of a college degree. I built a career. My parents helped with Georgie sometimes. They babysat when I worked late. They bought her clothes when I could not afford them. They let us live there rent-free for the first 5 years. But they always reminded me that they were helping. That I owed them. That I should be grateful. So I was grateful. I was grateful for 15 years. When Georgie was 5, I started paying my parents' rent. $300 a month. When she was 7, I paid for their new furnace. $6,000. When she was 9, I paid off my mother's car loan. $8,000. When she was 11, I paid for my father's medical bills when his insurance did not cover everything. $12,000. When she was 13, I paid for a new roof. $15,000. I also worked for them for free. I fixed their plumbing. I repaired their electrical issues. I renovated their bathroom. I built them a deck. I installed new kitchen cabinets. I did thousands of dollars of work and never charged them a cent. I thought we had an arrangement. I thought we were a family. I thought they appreciated what I was doing. I was wrong. About 2 years ago, things started to change. My parents started making comments. Small things at first. Little digs about how Georgie and I were still living there. About how we were taking up space. About how long we had been there. About how maybe it was time for us to think about moving out. I said I was saving for a down payment. I said I was working on it. I said I just needed a little more time. They said okay. But the comments kept coming. 1 year ago, my mother said we needed to have a family meeting. I thought she wanted to talk about chores or schedules. Instead, she said that she and my father had been talking. They said that Georgie and I had been living there for 15 years. They said it was too long. They said we needed to start looking for our own place. I said I was trying. I said I was saving. I said I just needed another year or 2. My father said that was too long. My mother said they needed their space back. They said they wanted to enjoy their house without us there. They said they loved us, but it was time. I felt like I had been punched in the stomach. But I also understood. It was their house. They had let us stay there for 15 years. Maybe it was time. So I said okay. I said I would start looking seriously. I said I would make it happen. But then I did the math. Rent in our area was at least $2,000 a month for a 2-bedroom apartment. I was making decent money, but not enough to save for a down payment and pay that kind of rent. I was stuck. So I kept living there. I kept working. I kept saving. And my parents kept making comments. 6 months ago, the comments got worse. My father started saying that Georgie was too loud. That she played her music too loud. That she had friends over too much. That she left her things everywhere. None of it was true. Georgie was quiet. She kept to herself. She barely had friends over. But they had decided she was a problem, and nothing I said changed their minds. My mother started saying that Georgie did not respect them, that she did not listen, that she talked back. Again, none of it was true. Georgie was polite. She said please and thank you. She did her chores. But my mother saw disrespect in everything. 3 months ago, my father said we needed to have another family meeting. This time, he did not ask. He demanded. He said we were meeting on Sunday at 6. I said okay. On Sunday at 6, we sat down in the living room. My parents on one couch. Georgie and I on the other. My father cleared his throat. Then he said, "We have been patient. We have given you time. But you are still here. And we are done waiting." I stared at him. What does that mean? It means you have until the end of the year to move out. That is 6 months. That is more than enough time to find a place. And if I cannot find a place by then, you will figure it out. You always do. Dad, rent around here is $2,000 a month. I do not have that kind of money saved yet. Then find somewhere cheaper. Move further away. Get a roommate. I do not care. But you cannot stay here anymore. This is my home. I have lived here my entire life. Georgie has lived here her entire life. And we have been generous for 15 years. But it is our house. And we want it back. I looked at my mother. She was nodding, agreeing with every word. I said, "Mom, do you feel the same way?" "Yes. We love you. But it is time." I looked at Georgie. She was staring at the floor. Her face was red. She was trying not to cry. "Okay," I said. "I will start looking." But I did not start looking. Because I did not know where to look. Everything was too expensive. Everything was too far from Georgie's school. Everything was too small. I felt trapped. And my parents knew it. They knew I could not afford to leave. And they started using that against me. 1 month ago, my mother said that since we were still living there, we needed to start contributing more. She said $300 a month was not enough. She said we needed to pay $800. I said that was almost triple what I had been paying. She said take it or leave it. I said I would pay it. Because I had no choice. 2 weeks ago, my father said that Georgie was taking up too much space. He said her bedroom was too big. He said they needed that room for other things. He said she needed to move to a smaller room. I said she had lived in that room her entire life. He said it did not matter. She was moving. I went to look at the smaller room he wanted her to move to. It was the old storage room. 10 feet by 8 feet. No windows. No closet. Just a tiny room filled with boxes and old furniture. I said no. I said Georgie was not moving into a storage closet. My father said then she could move to the basement. I went to look at the basement. It was unfinished. Concrete floor. Exposed pipes. Damp. Cold. I said absolutely not. My father said those were her options. The storage room or the basement. Or we could leave. I said we would leave. As soon as I found a place. My father said I had been saying that for months. He said I was stalling. He said if I did not move Georgie out of her bedroom by the end of the month, he would do it himself. I told Georgie what was happening. She said it was fine. She said she could move to the storage room. She said she did not mind. But I could see it in her eyes. She minded. She minded a lot. Then came her birthday. Yesterday was March 23rd. Georgie's 15th birthday. My parents said they wanted to throw her a party. A family party. Just us and a few relatives. Aunts, uncles, cousins. Nothing big. Just a nice celebration. I thought it was a peace offering. I thought maybe they were trying to make things better. I said yes. I said that sounded great. Georgie was excited. She picked out an outfit. She helped me bake a cake. She was smiling. The party was at 5. By 4:30, people started arriving. My Aunt Susan. My Uncle Mike. My cousins and their kids. 12 people total. Everyone brought presents. Everyone was smiling. Everyone was acting like everything was normal. We ate dinner. Pizza and salad. Nothing fancy. Then it was time for cake. I brought it out. 15 candles. Everyone sang happy birthday. Georgie blew out the candles. Everyone clapped. Then my father stood up. He was holding a small box. It was wrapped in silver paper with a white bow. It looked expensive. It looked special. He handed it to Georgie. "This one is from your grandma and me," he said. "Open it." Georgie smiled. She took the box. It was small. Maybe 4 inches by 3 inches. The size of a jewelry box. She looked at me. I nodded. She carefully unwrapped it. She opened the box. Inside was a key. Just a single key on a plain metal ring. It looked old. Rusty. Used. Georgie stared at it. Then she looked up at my father. "What is this?" My father smiled. "It is a key." "A key to what?" "To your new room." Everyone was watching. Smiling. Waiting. Like this was some big reveal. Some exciting surprise. "My new room," Georgie said. "Yep. Come on. Let me show you." My father walked toward the back door. Everyone followed. Georgie looked at me. I had no idea what was happening. I shrugged. We followed. My father led everyone out to the backyard. In the far corner, past the patio, past the garden, there was an old shed. It had been there for as long as I could remember. My father used to store lawn equipment in it. Then he stopped using it. It just sat there. Rotting. Falling apart. My father walked up to the shed. He pointed at it. Then he looked at Georgie. "This is your new room." Georgie stared at him. "What?" "This is your new room. We cleared it out for you. It is all yours. Happy birthday." I stepped forward. "Dad, what are you talking about?" "I'm talking about solving our space problem. Georgie needs a room. This is a room. Problem solved. That is a shed. It is a structure with 4 walls and a roof. That is a room. It is not insulated. It has no heat. It has no electricity. It is full of mold. We can get a space heater. And we can run an extension cord from the house. It will be fine." I looked at the shed. The door was hanging crooked. The windows were cracked. There were holes in the walls. The floor was rotting. The whole thing smelled like mildew and decay. "You cannot be serious." "I am completely serious." She wanted to stay. This is how she stays. This is not a room. This is a shed. A broken, moldy shed. "Well, it is what we are offering. She can take it or you can both leave." Everyone was watching. My Aunt Susan looked uncomfortable. My Uncle Mike was staring at the ground. My cousins were whispering to each other. No one said anything. No one defended Georgie. They just stood there. I looked at Georgie. She was holding the key. Her hand was shaking. She was trying so hard not to cry. Trying to keep it together in front of everyone. But I could see her breaking. "Georgie, go inside and pack a bag," I said. "What?" "Pack a bag. We are leaving." "Laura, do not be dramatic," my mother said. "I am not being dramatic. You just told my 15-year-old daughter that her birthday present is a moldy shed. You humiliated her in front of the entire family. You treated her like she is nothing. We are leaving." "Where are you going to go?" my father said. "Anywhere but here." "You do not have anywhere to go. You do not have money saved. You do not have a plan. You are stuck." "I would rather be stuck anywhere else than stay here one more second." "Laura, think about this. You are making a huge mistake." "No. You made the mistake." "You made it when you decided my daughter was disposable. When you decided she was worth less than your convenience. When you decided to humiliate her on her birthday." "We were trying to help. We were offering her a solution. You were offering her a shed. On her birthday. In front of everyone. As a joke. Do not pretend this was about helping." My father's face hardened. "Fine. Leave. But do not come crawling back when you realize you have nowhere to go." "I would never come back here. Not if it was the last place on earth." I turned to Georgie. "Go pack. Right now. She ran inside. I followed her. My Aunt Susan followed me. She grabbed my arm. Laura, where are you going to go? I will figure it out. Do you have money? Some. Enough? Enough to get us out of here. That is all that matters. She reached into her purse. She pulled out $200 in cash. Take this. Susan, I cannot. Take it. Please. What they did was horrible. I am sorry I did not say anything. I should have said something. But please take this. Get Georgie somewhere safe. I took the money. I hugged her. Then I went upstairs. Georgie was throwing clothes into a duffel bag. She was crying now. Hard. Mom, I am sorry. Do not apologize. You have nothing to be sorry for. I ruined my own birthday party. You did not ruin anything. They did. Where are we going to go? I do not know yet. But we will figure it out. I grabbed my own bag. I threw in clothes, toiletries, important documents. Everything I could fit. Then we walked downstairs. Everyone was back inside. Eating cake. Talking quietly. Like nothing had happened. I walked past them. I did not say goodbye. I did not look back. Georgie and I walked out the front door. We got in my truck. We drove. I drove to a motel. Cheap. Basic. $49 a night. I paid for 3 nights. Georgie and I carried our bags into the room. 2 double beds. A bathroom. A TV. That was it. Georgie sat on the bed. She was still crying. I am sorry, Mom. Stop apologizing. But Georgie, listen to me. You did nothing wrong. Nothing. They humiliated you. They tried to make you feel small. They tried to make you feel like you do not deserve a real room. But they are wrong. You deserve everything. And I am going to make sure you get it. How? I do not know yet. But I will figure it out. I always do. She nodded. Then she said, Can I ask you something? Anything. Did you see everyone's faces? When Grandpa showed me the shed. I did. They all thought it was funny. They were smiling. Like it was some kind of joke. I know. Do they hate me? My heart broke. No, baby. They do not hate you. They just do not see you. They do not see how special you are. They do not see how hard you try. They do not see how much you deserve. But that is their problem. Not yours. Then why does it hurt so much? Because you wanted them to see you. And they chose not to. And that always hurts. She cried for a long time. I held her. I did not try to make it better. I just let her feel it. That night, after she fell asleep, I sat in the motel parking lot. I called my boss. I explained the situation. I asked if I could pick up extra shifts. He said yes. He said he had a big commercial job coming up. If I wanted it, it was mine. 6 weeks of work. Good pay. I said yes. Then I started looking for apartments. I looked for 2 hours. Everything was too expensive. Everything required first month, last month, security deposit. I did not have that kind of money. Not yet. Then I looked at houses for sale. Just out of curiosity. Just to see what was out there. And I saw something interesting. My parents' house was listed. Not officially. But there was a foreclosure notice filed against it. Public record. I looked deeper. They had taken out a home equity loan 5 years ago. Then another 2 years ago. They had missed payments. The bank was foreclosing. The auction was scheduled for 6 months from now. I sat there staring at my phone. They were losing their house. The house they had kicked us out of. The house they said they needed back so badly. They were losing it. And I realized something. I could buy it. I had money saved. Not enough for a down payment on most houses. But enough for a foreclosure auction. Enough to make a cash offer. Enough to take it from them the way they had tried to take everything from us. I called a real estate lawyer the next morning. His name was Daniel. I explained what I wanted to do. He said it was risky. He said foreclosure auctions were competitive. He said there was no guarantee. But he also said if I was serious, he could help. I said I was serious. For the next 6 months I worked. I worked 70-hour weeks. I took every job I could get. I did residential. I did commercial. I did emergency calls at 3 in the morning. I saved every dollar. Georgie and I moved from the motel to a month-to-month rental. A small apartment. 1 bedroom. Georgie took the bedroom. I slept on the couch. It was not much. But it was ours. And no one could take it from us. During those 6 months, my parents called. They left voicemails. They sent texts. They said they wanted to talk. They said they had overreacted. They said they were sorry. They said they wanted us to come back. I did not respond. Not once. 3 months in, my mother sent me a letter. She said they were in trouble. She said they were going to lose the house. She said the bank was foreclosing. She said they needed help. She asked if I could loan them money. Just enough to catch up on payments. Just enough to save the house. I threw the letter away. The auction was on September 15th. I showed up with Daniel. There were 12 other bidders. The starting bid was $220,000. The house was worth at least $350,000. It was a steal. The bidding started. It went fast. 220, 230, 240, 250. People dropped out. 260, 270, 280. More people dropped out. 290, 300. There were 3 of us left. A real estate investor. And a young couple. 310, 320, 330. The young couple dropped out. 340, 350. I bid 360. The investor hesitated. Then he shook his head. He was out. Going once. Going twice. Sold to bidder number 7 for $360,000. I had bought my parents' house. I paid in cash. I signed the paperwork. The house was mine. Legally. Officially. Completely mine. 2 weeks later, the sheriff served my parents with an eviction notice. They had 30 days to vacate the property. If they did not leave, they would be forcibly removed. My mother called me. I answered. Laura, what did you do? I bought the house. You what? I bought the house. At the foreclosure auction. It is mine now. You cannot be serious. I am completely serious. Why would you do this? Because you tried to make my daughter live in a shed. Because you humiliated her. Because you threw us out. And I decided I wanted it back. This is our home. We have lived here for 43 years. Not anymore. Laura, please. We have nowhere to go. You have 30 days to figure it out. Just like you gave us. We do not have money. We do not have savings. We have nothing. Then you will understand how Georgie felt when you handed her that shed key. Please. We are your parents. And she is my daughter. And I will always choose her. I hung up. I blocked her number. My parents moved out 28 days later. I do not know where they went. I did not ask. I did not care. Georgie and I moved into the house 1 week after they left. I had it professionally cleaned. I had the shed torn down. I had Georgie's old room repainted. I bought her new furniture. I made it hers. The first night we slept there, Georgie came into my room. She said, Mom, is this real? It is real. We really live here now? We really live here. And no one can make us leave? No one. It is ours. She smiled. A real smile. The first real smile I had seen in months. Thank you. You do not have to thank me. Yes, I do. You did this for me. You bought this house for me. You made sure I would never have to live in a shed. I would do anything for you. Anything. I know. That was 6 months ago. Georgie is 15 years old. She is a sophomore in high school. She is on the swim team. She is getting straight A's. She has friends now. Real friends who come over and hang out in her room. The room that is actually hers. The room that no one can take away from her. Last week, we were in the backyard. There is a concrete slab where the shed used to be. Georgie was standing on it. Looking at it. Then she said, Do you think they learned anything? What do you mean? Do you think they understand now? Do you think they get it? I do not know. But it does not matter. Why not? Because we do not need them to get it. We do not need them to apologize. We do not need them to understand. We just need to move forward. Do you ever miss them? I thought about it. Really thought about it. No. I miss the idea of them. I miss having parents who cared. But I do not miss them. Not the real them. She nodded. Me neither. Are you okay? Yeah. I am okay. Better than okay, actually. I have my own room. In our own house. And nobody can give me a shed key ever again. I laughed. She laughed. It felt good. I think about that birthday sometimes. I think about that silver box. That rusty key. That moldy shed. I think about 12 people standing in the backyard watching my daughter's heart break. I think about my father smiling like he had done something clever. And I think about the choice I made. To leave. To work. To save. To fight. To take back what should have been ours all along. Some people said I was vindictive. Some people said I should have helped my parents. Some people said buying their house at auction was cruel. Some people said I went too far. But when I look at Georgie now, when I see her thriving, when I see her feeling safe in her own home, in her own room, I know I did exactly what I needed to do. She is my daughter. She deserves a real room. She deserves a real home. She deserves to feel wanted. And I made sure she got all of that. My parents thought they could control us. They thought we had nowhere to go. They thought they could treat Georgie like she was disposable. They thought there would be no consequences. They were wrong. So, what do you think? Did I go too far, or just far enough? Let me know in the comments below. And if you want more stories about mothers who chose their children over toxic families, do not forget to subscribe and hit that bell icon. I've got 2 more stories queued up for you, both about the moment we realized protecting our kids means walking away from the people who were supposed to love them. Click on whichever one calls to you. Until next time, remember, family is about who shows up, not who shows up in your DNA.